This is the final video, the Self-Sufficient Creator Challenge. And over the past 30 days, we went from a service-based creator to a self-sufficient creator that is attracting partnerships that are performance-based. And along the way, all I'm doing is creating minimal amounts of content that'll create the maximum amount of impact and getting residuals from any content that I create. Not getting paid once, I'm getting paid multiple times for creating content a single time. And I'm gonna share with you today what the overlap is of all the partnerships I attracted. But before we get there, what we gotta do is actually go to the ethos or the overall understanding of what I learned through this series. And it's very simple. So make sure you stay here for this. But at the end, I'm gonna share the overlapping model between the partnerships that I've attracted and I'm working in and what it is, okay? And those are the two most valuable pieces of information. So number one, what I learned over this 30 days, and like I said, go back through and watch all these videos if you're in the same boat as me, of somebody being a very talented service-based creator, endlessly helping people, but not getting the full worth of the value you're creating, okay? So the one thing I learned overall is when you can stand alone and not be dependent on others and see your value as clearly as possible, others start to join you. And not only that, the people who you attract are going to mirror you, which means they're on the same level as you, but they have the opposite skill that you need to bring symbiosis or synergize it together to get everybody paid well, doing the least amount of work for the maximum amount of payoff. This is super cool, okay? So essentially what happened was before I was like really talented and was like, all right, let's attract in work with our skills. Look at this flashy video. And people are like, that's dope. Here's our budget. And I'm like, here's my rate. And they're like, here's our budget. And then you endlessly get stuck in that trap, right? But when people know your value and they need your skill and they're experts at what they do and you match it with your expertise. So for instance, mine is photo, video, editing, vibe code, landers, VSLs, launch, rebrand, and if I didn't say it, marketing and branding, okay? So imagine that put up with these people and the things that I'm gonna share of these partnerships that I attracted, there's the overlap, okay? It's very simple. Number one is for all the partnerships, all I'm doing is creating single amounts of content and that are getting put into systems that are marketing an offer, and I'm getting residuals for it. And across the board, it's 20%. So for one of this pickleball company I'm doing work with, is essentially they sent me a list of their top performing videos over 1 month, and there's 15 of them. And they're like, here's the template, go create 5 more. And I'm like, okay. And I got paid a stipend to create those 5. But here's the cool payoff is every piece of content I create will be posted by that company and an influencer. They're gonna run ad spend behind it, and I get 20% of every sale made through the link, which is all tracked digitally. So there's a passive income stream from making 5 videos that are endlessly getting attention and conversions if they're done properly. But we have the template of all the videos that we have to recreate in the same style. Pretty simple. Then I got somebody who is in the marketing agency space that has the systems and everything figured out and takes people like me and you who are very talented and creates authority and followings for us. And I think his offer is over, 1 year is he gets you 100,000 person audience or more, or your money back guaranteed, okay? So for that one, I'm simply helping him create content to endlessly roll out this offer and get more conversions, which is already put in a system with a sales team and a marketing team, right? And I'm getting 20% of anything I create with that as well. And any leads that I send into him, I get 20% of. And this gets better. Not only does he have 3.1 million followers, but I'm also have all my infrastructure and all my products and all my services set up. We've finished building my ecosystem. And I said, hey, would you be open to connecting or any sale that you make from me in your network, receiving 20% from as well? And he goes, all day, man, thank you. Perfect, boom, 2 for 2. The last partnership that I'm doing is a CMO, a fractional CMO for 3 months. And then if that works out, and I set this up because I'm like, I don't want to be in a partnership until I work with somebody and understand the flow and everything, right? So I was like, let's do 3 months as a fractional CMO. After that, then I'll partner, and partnership gets part ownership of this health and wellness model. And the cool thing is I just built Eden, a health and wellness app that's innovative, and it's going to be like innovative health and wellness, but it's true health and wellness. It's emotions, it's everything, it's being in alignment. It's not taking pills and going to the doctor and all this crap in healthcare that's being very well exposed, right? It is very simple. And that ties in too, it's like, talk about a partnership. It's like creating content and driving something you believe in, plus having a digital product that literally ties everything they do together, right? So as you're seeing, it's like looking for overlap, but you can attract this overlap. And then as a whole too, it's like do the highest performing work you can do with the least amount of time and effort and the maximum return to you, right? Like that's basic marketing in ROI, okay? But when you can stand alone and be dependent on yourself and put all your value in yourself and stop accepting jobs that you're accepting just to get paid, and they become pain in the butts, and it's literally like scarcity inflated to the maximum degree. It's like the greatest test in scarcity. When you can push all that to the side and let it go, there's going to be a dead space, and you're going to create this opening where you have to put it into yourself, but you're going to see yourself grow. And when that happens, the coolest thing happens. When you start growing alone and essentially you're not dependent on anybody, you start attracting this stuff in. And as you can see, they're very high, they're high value partnerships doing the least amount of work possible. But when you're an expert in the field and you know what you're doing, that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be working hard and doing all this extra work and extra crap just to show people that you can play. But then also it's like at some point people start leveraging their networks versus your skills, but even though your skill set's above it, that's where you have the power, right? Because at the end of the day, they know you're the solution. If you know you're the solution too, shut that shit down, say no, walk away. Not only will it show them your value, but you're going to show yourself your value. And when you show yourself and others your value and you walk away from stuff that's not for you, you're going to create the door. The door actually opens to all this stuff that can really bring you the value. And along with this series too, something that I said I'd do is tell you at the end what I was doing. And this is the coolest part. If you stayed for this, you get it. If people bounce, you just missed the gold here too, is all these transcripts for this series. As I was unwinding and building it in public and not even knowing what the outcome was going to be, I tracked all these in a Claude project. And then I also told it, save all these transcripts over the next 30 days, consolidate all the like stuff and isolate all the different stuff. And then at the end, we're going to create an ebook. And that's exactly what we did. So after today's video, I'm going to create an ebook. I've got to figure out where I'm going to post it and how we're going to put this on. So we might do one more video. We might even do a post video of like follow up of how this business model is going. But essentially what we did was take all these transcripts, put it in a file. So now we have a lead gen tool. Now we have a specific audience to talk to. Now we have a specific problem that we solved. Not only did we document it, we figured it out along the way. Also, we gained 3 partnerships and then staged myself for a public figure and am connected and partnered with somebody who can help me grow my audience to over 100,000 people and has every connection that I need along the way to grow brand authority outside of that. Pretty dope, right? That sounds like a pretty good ebook or a pretty good digital project or product or a lead gen tool that could benefit a lot of people. So if you've been watching this series and you want that, I'd say the easiest way to get it from me and remind me of it is shoot me an email. And it should be in the description box below. I'll make sure it's there today. It's chrisdouglascreative@gmail.com, as long as I have that email, right? Because we're also building some other stuff on the backside. But as a whole, that email should be active. So if you guys want the lead gen tool or you want the product as I'm creating it, number one, I don't mind sending stuff because I'm like, here, test it out. Tell me if it works, because I truly know the more I can help myself and the more I can create impact in others, it's like endlessly God pays me, and it's endlessly like getting the reciprocity from the universe without asking for it or needing it, just knowing that what I'm doing is my truest authentic self and sharing that with you and sharing what I learned through this own, I guess, self-experiment that I pulled y'all into is just like, it's the greatest gift. So if you guys want that digital product, shoot me an email. I would love to connect with you. And also if you're somebody running through this whole problem and you hit any speed bumps, reach out, book a call. Like if you go to bychris.io and you click on my picture, it puts you to my Calendly link. And everything that I've set up is for this is, I think that as creators, we got to start unifying and connecting with one another and helping one another out, because I've seen it here in Austin, Texas. And it's really been illuminated to me here. It's like so many people are undervaluing creatives that need us in business. There's so many people that are so good at the business side of stuff and they have the leverage in the networks, but at the end of the day, they're undercutting us creatives. And I don't appreciate that, and you shouldn't either. And you shouldn't even play with that, right? And it's like once creatives understand the value of what we do, we start aggregating and collecting together, almost like a union, right? Once we understand each other's value, we understand our value, we can help each other see it, and we start saying no to jobs that don't pay us enough for the dividends that people are making off of us because they're cutting costs as low as possible to make maximum gains instead of actually paying the people who are valuable in the process to perform with the process. Like, doesn't that make sense? But it's like the more you can say no to jobs that are out of alignment and even work in models like this where you're being paid for your performance and you're an expert in what you do, like that is how you create shifts in marketplaces, right? So as a creative, if you're taking low paying jobs, stop. don't do it. Say no. Put that value into yourself. Build your own brand. And the more you do that, you're going to attract partnerships like I mentioned in today's video. And when you can endlessly put your value into yourself, attract these partnerships, not be dependent on them, but it's symbiosis, so you're both leaning into each other, they yield maximum return for the least amount of effort. And that's what you should be focused on. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for going through this process with me. Like I said, if you guys at all have any questions, number one, go back and watch all 30 videos. We flushed it all out here, and you're probably going to relate to all the problems and then the stuff that we did to get out of those problems, or solutions, I guess we could call those. But then along with that, like I said, if you guys want this Legion tool before I post it, or figure out a way to create a cherry on top video for this, just send me an email or go to my website, bychris.io, click on my picture, it'll link you to my Calendly, or if you want to send me an email, it is chrisdouglascreative@gmail.com. Peace. Thank you for being here, and good luck. Go crush it. You got this. I don't think there's anything standing between you and success except for you, so get out of the way and let that door open, baby.